Hi, this is Green Roots Coffee, and I'm Jeff Bankston. So, the problem is not enough, if any, healthy options exist at coffee shops right now. Why do we care? Our survey research shows that people wish that they had healthy coffee alternatives and would pay just as much, if not more, to get them. Why is this important to us? Because people should be able to enjoy a great tasting cup of coffee without having to cheat on their diet. With the rise in heart disease and obesity in the country, coffee is an everyday habit that is a great place where we can tackle this problem. So the opportunity, coffee shops don't offer a wide range of healthy alternatives to customer, and if they do, they're often hidden in the menus, and so people are confused when they try to order these healthy alternatives. So our target market is young adults between the ages of 18 and 35 with enough income to support daily or every other day coffee drinking habits. And so this is the people that go through the drive-through and pick up a coffee on their way to work or on their way to school. So the description of the product, Green Roots Coffee uses all organic teas and coffee beans. And so this is important because not all coffee brewers out there do it. This is probably the one overlap that we actually get. All natural flavorings and colorings, sugar alternatives such as stevia and swerve. And so this is healthier than the no sugar alternatives, which actually contain aspartame, which is also very bad for you. Coconut, almond, and oat milk in place of traditional milk and creamers. And obviously, these are all just options. So now we get into our interviews. So for this first chart, this shows us that 86% would buy healthy coffee if it were similar in price. And so this is the second most cared about issue that we did in our interviews. Here we have a split of people who are concerned with the coffee price. And as we can see from this, the yellow section, 57% said that they already spend the money on coffee anyways. And so this would be not an issue to them. And this was actually the third most cared about issue in our surveys. And so that gives us to the last one, which is 57% labeled the taste as the top priority, either being the second or first priority. And so what we can tell from this is that it doesn't matter how healthy our coffee is, we have to make a coffee that people are going to enjoy drinking in order for this to even be feasible. So when we look at price, we got these prices just estimating off of the prices at Starbucks. And so we added a little more just because it's a little more for these healthy alternatives. So 8-ounce latte would cost you $3.05, and then all the way up to a 20-ounce latte, which would cost you $5.05. And we chose latte just because we assume this to be our biggest market. So our direct competitors, we have places like Starbucks, City Brew, which are big chain coffee places. Also Moab, other local coffee kiosks, and then Campus Coffee Shop. So we approximated that we have about 5 major competitors here in Billings. So if we go to our cash flow assumptions, this is just the stuff that we went through, looking at the feasibility and how much it's going to cost to get into this actual market. And so we have different categories there on the left. And these are all just estimations. We estimated them with a 90% probability, just because from our market research, this is what we can tell. And then the second page here is more of the guts of the issue. And this is talking about how many target customers we have, our target market, the demand, the share, how much we're going to spend to make each cup of coffee and things like that. And these are all just best guesses. None of this can be certain until we actually get into it. And then here we have the MPV, and this is so with the numbers that we have on the cash flow statements before, and this gives us an idea of where we're looking at. And so at 2,333, we might want that number to be a little higher, but at least that tells us that we're going to be in a range where this is a feasible option. And then obviously the break-even point, this is how many coffees we're going to have to sell to break even on the capital costs that we had before on the previous slides. So the conclusion for this is I think this is a really great product idea. I think just based on our customer surveys, this is something that has a real feasibility. in Billings, and I think even throughout the country. So yeah, I mean, just based on the numbers and based on everything that we saw, I think that this would be a really good product going forward. Thank you for your time.